Hello, Tom from Every Step Calculus, everystepphysics.com. Another physics problem regarding planets. And you can see the problem on your screen. Let's do it. Physics to get to my main menu. I'm going to scroll here down to planets, because anything to do with planets or moons or things like that is in my planets item in the menu. So we're going to, here's all alphabetical. So here's planets. Press enter. And the next minute we want to find in planets what the final kinetic energy is when it's at a certain distance from the center of the planet, the major planet. So we're going to go down here to kinetic energy final, and I gave you the gravitational constant. That's Newton's invention, or certainly had something to do with it. We're going to enter the major planet's mass. We have to press alpha first. We're going to press alpha. The mass is 5 times e to the 23rd. 5 times e. Here's the double e over here is the scientific notation key to the 23rd. 2, 3. Press enter. And it's kilograms, so if it wasn't, we'd do the calculations to make it kilograms and show you how to do that for your paper or test paper or homework, whatever. And we're going to enter the probe's mass, which is alpha 10 kilograms. We're going to enter the radius of the major planet, which is 3 to the e to the 6, alpha 3 e to the 6. And that's what meters. So we're going to press number 3, or scroll. I'm going to press number 3. It's quicker. And we're going to enter the initial kinetic energy, which is 5 to the 7, alpha 5 times e to the 7. And we're going to enter the distance that they give, alpha 4 to the 6, 4 e to the 6, and that's number 4 meters. So what do we have? We have the mass of the major planet, 5 to e to the 23rd, 10 kilograms for the probe, radius 3 e to the 6 for meters for the radius, and initial kinetic energy is 5 to the 7 joules. Distance is 4 to the 6 meters, e to the 6. So I say that's okay. If it wasn't, we could go back and change them. Here's the formula. KEF is the final kinetic energy, okay, minus G times the major planet's mass, the probe's mass, and that's times the quantity here of 1 divided by the radius minus 1 divided by the distance. And then we add the initial kinetic energy. So that's the formula right there, okay? And we enter the variables that we entered. Here's the G, the gravitational constant, major planet's mass, probe's mass, the radius, the distance, and the initial kinetic energy, okay? Now we're going to multiply this here together and do the calculations just as you would on your paper if you were doing it by yourself. And you'd come up with minus 3.335 e to the 14 times this and times this. And then we're going to add the initial kinetic. We do more calculations right here. And we have this, and then we have to add the initial kinetic energy. We do that, we come up with 2.2 e to the 7 joules. Now try that. Maybe this would be in a homework problem, not a test, but whatever, you could solve it with this. And notice that you could solve it for the rest of your life. In other words, you could throw out your physics books and your calculus books and just keep my programs into this calculator, and you'd have this for the rest of your life for your whoever might need it in the future. So go to my site, buy my program at only $30 for physics. It's over like 370 programs or something that'll solve your physics problems. And remember, you don't need to get everything right on a physics test, because it's the class curve and the partial credit for each problem. Whatever you can put down on a problem in a test, you get a certain amount of points for it, a couple points, 3 points. And the idea is to get more points than the person sitting next to you, and then try to get more points than the class, or certainly keep up with the class or whatever. So I don't know how you'd pass a physics test without these programs. I couldn't do it, but I got A's and did it because I was able to discover this system and do it, program it. And now you can have it for $30. So think about that, okay? Go to my site, buy my programs, and pass your physics or calculus. Don't forget calculus. Hey, have a good one.